QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking, Panther Nation? It is your boy Rashad. It is your boy Dave in the building. What is cracking with y'all, man? Dave, what's popping with your boy, man? Good?
Yo, man, I'm good, man. You know, I moved in, new angles. You know what I'm saying? Fantasy hour started yesterday. Having fun with that, you know. Trying to get these leagues filled up, which I want to have it all full by the end of the show next week. So we're going to see how it goes.
So what you're saying is you're living your best life right now, Dave. Is that what you're saying?
I'm living my best life. Next week's the MEAC SWAC Challenge. I'm about to be in Atlanta next week. It's going to be good. Can't complain.
Oh, you outside. You outside.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to a bunch of games this season, bro.
I see how you moving, Dave. I see how you moving.
I'm going to 8 college football games this year.
Hey, man, use your PNP street cred and get some credentials outside.
I should go get some credentials.
You should.
You know what? It might be too late. It might be too late for MEAC SWAT, but we'll see. I could try to see what I can pull.
Hey,
but
man,
I do know the executive director of the MEAC SWAC Challenge and the Celebration Bowl. You probably don't realize this. He is an Aggie, so.
No, yeah. Well, with that said, Dave, it's a lot to talk about, low key. A lot of things happening. Coaches are talking. People are a little perturbed out here in these streets. You know, we had our fair share of criticism as the game was going on. So it is what it is there. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get this. Shout out to Jordan. He says, "Congrats on 21K, fellas. Y'all deserve all the success, man. I appreciate that. We did hit 21K, but man, that's cool. That's cool. We appreciate that.
But we need
more.
But
the goal, bro. The goal is not 21. Can you do something for me? No, that ain't it. We got to go to 25, 30K. Let's get that. Let's celebrate that, though. We appreciate that. We appreciate all the subs. Yeah, man. So let's get it cracking, man. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, all that stuff, man.
I am going to the Magic City Classic. Tickets ain't on sale yet, though. I am going. I already bought my flight to Birmingham. I am going.
I was gonna say for clarity, because some folks only know what one Magic City is. Please clarify for the people that may or may not know.
I thought me saying Birmingham would be enough of a clue. No. Unlike the Magic Cities you guys know about in Atlanta, I'm talking about the Magic City Classic. Alabama A&M versus Alabama State. They play a game, Birmingham, Alabama. They do a battle of the bands. They play a football game. Big SWAC, big rivalry within the SWAC. It's like Hatfield and the McCoys. They hate each other. Really enjoyable experience. I think they had close to 70,000 fans at Legion Field last year, so it's a pretty crazy atmosphere.
See? Everybody in chat thought you was talking about the strip club. I said, hold up.
But I said Birmingham. Is there a Magic City in Birmingham I don't know about? I know about the one in Atlanta.
Hey, you never know. Hey, we got some folks that are outside, okay? So just...
Yeah, they outside. More outside than I've ever been, obviously.
Yeah, I got you. I ain't gonna let you flame out there like that, Dave. I got your back, yo. But anyway.
You flaming out? Since you out here talking all the strip joint. Yeah,
Facts. All right.
I heard the wings were stunning though
I've heard that too. I've heard that too. I have never been to Magic City, so I don't intend on going. But shout out to all the folks that have been and said that they've enjoyed those wings and other activities.
Different type of wings, but I feel you.
Shout out to everybody in Atlanta, man. That's what's up. All right, Dave, let's go ahead and get it cracking. Since Dave, we got to make sure Dave is not on the prowl in the strip club, man. But make sure y'all stay on the prowl, man. We appreciate all the support. That's our thing. Y'all know y'all got to stay positive, man. Stay positive and do something positive outside, man. Chase your dreams and all that good stuff. All right, so with that said, man, let's go ahead and get into. Let me share my screen here. All right, let's get this thing going. A lot to talk about, Dave. A lot to talk about. All right, here we go. Oh, let me get my chat. All right, let's get it. So, Dave, a lot of injuries, bro. A lot of injuries right now. This, Frank Wright came out yesterday and said they're dealing with some injuries. And here's the list. So, Terrace Marshall is obviously the biggest name on that list. Terrace Marshall is dealing with the back. He tweaked his back in practice yesterday, left on a cart. Some said because he was sitting on a cart, it wasn't a big deal. Well, it's a big enough deal that he missed today's practice, DNP. And so before we get into Terrace Marshall, let's just get to the rest of these. Derek Wright is dealing with the knee. Frank Wright said it's going to be some time for him, which sucks. We'll talk about him a little bit later. Henry Anderson, Cam Irving, Stephon Sullivan, not sure what his injury is. Demir Bird, we obviously know with the hamstring, and Miles Sanders out with the groin. This is a nice little list of injuries. And I think these are, with the exception of Terrace Marshall, because we don't really know whether he's going to miss a game, but these are significant enough to where guys are starting to miss, are going to miss a little bit of time. So Dave, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Marshall, we don't know if it's serious or not, but that's the glaring one for me. I feel for Derek Wright, and somebody already got at you about your spelling, but it's okay.
Yeah, my bad.
It is what it is, man.
I'm terrible at spelling, bro.
I know it is what it is, but
I didn't win the spelling bee.
I won in second grade, but that was a long time ago. But I feel for Derek Wright because I felt like he was going to take that 6 wide receiver spot. He still can, but I'm worried that he might be gone too long and that might cost him. Henry Anderson, sucks for him. I'm going to skip over the next guy. Hope he gets recovered. Stephon Sullivan, what's his injury? We don't know what it is. He's just out.
Yeah, I don't know what the injury. I didn't get the details for his injury. I'm not sure.
Bird's hamstring injury is going to be extended, which is kind of rough because he was on pace.
6 to 8 weeks for Bird for sure.
Yeah, that's rough. And I'm not panicking about Miles Sanders yet, but I think I'm not worried too much about Miles quite yet. Marshall, we gotta monitor that one because if he's out for an extended period of time,
all right,
that's not
all right, Dave. All right, let's see. You are tiptoeing around the discussion with Terrace Marshall. Let's go ahead and let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's ask the tough questions. Okay, it's time to meet this head on. Pause. Okay, Terrace Marshall, he was MIA during the game. I mean, no targets. I didn't even know he was
probably was hurt.
No, I'm talking about the game, bro. He wasn't hurt at the game. He tweaked his back in practice. On Monday, he wasn't hurt during the game.
I'm trying to give that man some grace, okay?
No. So here's the thing, right? King Darius injury prone, yes, because these injuries go back to college. Yeah, he was injured in college as well, bro. Like, and if this was Shark Tank, I'm about to be out, bro. Like somebody else said it too. I'm out on Marsh. I just say this because it's difficult because just like I'm on the CJ Henderson train, bro. I'm the one that was defending the pick of Terrace Marshall in the second round. I like this kid. He has a lot of talent. But Dave, you know what it's giving right now? It's giving David Geddes vibes, bro. That's what it's giving. The guy that never was. The guy that has all the potential in the world.
Geddes wasn't taken in the second round, bro.
I don't care. I could care less about what round he's taking. I could care less about. I'm talking about injury to injury. The fact that he has talent and can never get on the field is frustrating. Okay, and I'll just say this: I'm so glad we drafted Mingo. Like I'm so glad we got a guy that's like. And again, I don't know. Mingo has been on the field in college. He doesn't have a crazy injury history. But listen, it's frustrating because I want this guy to succeed. We've seen some highs out of Terrace Marshall. We've seen him capable, especially after Matt Rule was gone. We've seen it, bro. It's just frustrating. And to see him come out and be, 4th, 5th on the depth chart was surprising. But then to not only that, back it up by him running with the twos in the game, because everybody said, don't look too much into it. It's just the coaches don't have input on the depth chart. Meanwhile, he comes out running with the twos during the game. So and nobody comes back and says, "Oh, the depth chart was right." Nobody's circling back around on that.
Oh
Huh?
no, they're not gonna do that because they don't want to. They don't want to admit that I was right when I was talking about tariffs was 5. Y'all, y'all thought I was crazy, and I'm like, I might have to backpedal a little bit on that Chenault thing, but we'll probably get into that later when we talk about the receivers. But nah, when it comes to tariffs, man, it's about who brings who in, and he had to prove himself, and I don't think at the time he did enough. And that's why I had him ranked 5. And it's obvious that the coaching staff, they had him on the second team. They had Mingo ahead of him. Told y'all. Mingo out here playing with the ones.
He was
Marshall out here playing with the 2s.
Mingo was definitely playing with the ones, and he did. I don't think he got any targets,
No.
or anything like. We'll go over the rookie report and kind of look at their stats and all that. But listen, it's frustrating because the dude has talent. This has nothing to do with his talent. We know he's talented. It's just frustrating because he can't stay on the field. And I don't know how serious his injury is. I'm not talking about that, but he's missed. Now he's going to be missing practice. Not only that, Dave, we brought in another receiver. Like we worked out another receiver. So I don't know if that's indicative of Derek Wright's injury or of Terrace Marshall's injury. I don't know what that dictates. But bro, I mean, you got if Derek Wright did get hurt, bro. I mean, you talking about a guy that was about to make the roster, bro. Like he was about to push a couple. And Shi Smith, I think Shi Smith is also injured. I'm not sure what the extent of his injury is, but you talking about a couple of guys that need to get on the field. Our wide receiver depth is about gone. You know what I mean? Like all the guys are hurt right now. Like it's crazy how we started. Now look at us. You know what I mean? So I listen. It's just frustrating, bro. I want Terrace to succeed. It's year 3. What did they say, Dave? How long are we giving them rookies?
3 seasons.
3 years, right? So this is 3rd season. This is the time for him to make a name for himself. And the fact that we drafted Mingo and now Terrace Marshall's running with the 2s is frustrating. And everybody wants to give him a pass. I'm with you because I like Terrace too, bro. I like him. I think he's talented, but it kind of is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I don't know. My bad. I'm off my soapbox, man.
Look, man, I knew. Listen, I'm trying to get this man grace because he's like I said, he's got a 3-year period, but right now it doesn't look good. I mean, you compare this man to David Geddes, but you should be comparing him to Curtis Samuel because Samuel was the same way initially when he first got into the league, and he was a much higher draft pick.
That's a great point.
Yeah, he was a higher draft pick, but Samuel did show out enough his final year of his deal to get a contract with Washington.
The difference though is look at the talent level on the roster from what Curtis Samuel was working with to what we have now. Ain't the same. I don't think Marshall's going to have the opportunity to show off in year 4 given what's in front of him. You know what I mean? If we keep Thielen's here for 3 years, got a 3-year deal. Chark is balling right now. I think Chark is clear, and we got to re-sign him. 1-year deal, right? It is a 1-year deal, so we got to get him back. Go ahead.
But that gives him opportunity. That gives Marshall opportunity.
It won't though.
No, but the thing is the fact that Chark is only on a 1-year deal. This gives Marshall a chance to say we might not need to re-sign Chark, and he just hasn't shown anything yet.
Bro, I think.
Now, I'm with you, bro. Like you ain't got to argue with me about this. Chark is by far the better receiver. We're not going to have an argument about this. But I'm just saying there's an opportunity for Marshall to show that he can stick around, and Marshall's got 1 more year left in his deal. Chark does not. So this is your chance. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it. And you got injured. And hopefully it's not serious. Because if it's serious, man, they might be forced. They might be forced to re-sign Chark. And which I wouldn't have an issue with anyway.
Yeah, the way, but and this is correct too. We did say Chark is injury prone.
He
did say that. But guess who's on the field? Guess who?
Chark.
Knock on wood. He's on the field, bro. So I don't know, man. I'm just it's frustrating because it is again. I want to say this very clearly because I know folks like to take things and run with narratives. I like Terrace Marshall. I want Terrace Marshall to run. I want him to be the third wide receiver. I think he has wide receiver 2 upside. I think he can be a wide receiver, a solid wide receiver 2. I don't think he has 1 upside, but 2 very solid 2 upside. That's where I think he is, but I just don't. I don't think he. I just can't. The injuries, bro.
So Shad, so what did I say a few weeks ago? And when I said that he was 5th, you don't have that type of faith in Terrace Marshall if you make the decision to sign Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, and draft Mingo.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree, bro. You preaching to the choir. Because as soon as all that happened, I'm like, bro, they don't really believe in this dude.
That's the new coaching staff, guys. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, what did you guys expect? Like, it's just like, and I mean, it's a different position, but it's like, you guys would have been furious if we didn't draft Cam Newton after Robert Ferrer got hired. Y'all would have been furious sitting at the number 1 pick. We don't take Cam or Blaine Gabbert, but get my point. Like, this coaching staff has got to invest in their guys. It's a new coaching staff. It's a new regime, and I agree with you, man. I think Terrace Marshall does have the talent, but he's got to get healthy. He's got to stay healthy. And again, I always said that his opportunity was going to be based on the health of Chark, and the first guy that's out is him.
And we don't know the severity of the injury, but anytime an injury-prone guy like him continues to get injured, it's going to throw up some red flags, and we're going to overreact a little bit. So, could we be overreacting? Absolutely. Could it be minor and he's going to be fine? Cool, but that don't change the fact that he's wide receiver number 4 right now, according to what we did on Friday or Saturday, whenever we played. Because he's wide receiver 4.
Truth be told, he's 4 by default. He's 4 by default because we got so many injuries at the position. He's 4 by default.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's move on from the injury because I'm getting riled up, man. I got riled up. And I'm just passionate because I like Terrace. It's just frustrating. Miles Sanders, I hope they just kind of saying, all right, it's preseason. We ain't going to roll you out there like that. It's cool. I don't know if it's going to be that serious, but I don't think it's serious. I think they're kind of just chilling with some of these guys. But anyway, shout out to Miles Sanders. Hopefully he gets healthy. All right, let's move on. So, offensive line. Y'all know if y'all been following, Dave, don't do that. Yo, you got to let me finish first before you start breathing all heavy and all that. All right, so offensive line.
Let me tell you something. I don't know if I call it Twitter or X, but I saw this thing on X, and I lost my mind when I saw that 15.6 pass block by Icky.
Yeah, so if you are not following us on X or Twitter, whatever the hell they're calling it now, follow us because some of the stuff has been put out on Twitter. So follow us at Panther Nation PC. Some of these graphics get put out a little early over there, so. All right, so here is the offensive line PFF grades. If you're new here, typically after the games, we kind of take a look at these grades, kind of give our opinions. Because, again, these PFF grades do not tell the entire story. So we try to give our opinion on the scores and see whether they correlate to what we saw. And but we definitely use it as a kind of a building block as to our assessments, all right? But, I mean, Icky, it wasn't pretty, bro. He played like 11 snaps and gave up a couple pressures. Like that's not what you want to see when your left tackle is going up against backups. Because to be clear, the Jets did not play like hardly any ones. There was no Quentin Williams out there. There was no primetime dudes playing out there, right? So for us the entire offensive line, taking it off Icky for a second, for the entire offensive line to do what they did yesterday was piss poor, and you could see. Based on the past couple practices, that the entire coaching staff is not happy with it. Camp is not happy with it. They had an entire meeting, and some of y'all said, "Yo, it's just preseason. Relax, y'all overreacting." Well, if that's the case, then why the hell do they need a private meeting to discuss it? Why is camping
after the game, guys? Right after the game.
So so why is Campen saying, "Oh, we got to keep it in house"? Or we're not going to reveal. Like, why is everybody? They know because they know, and they know ultimately the success of Bryce Young is going to depend on the front five. This offensive line has to be way better, and we've seen them play better. Now, one thing I do want to kind of talk about, Dave, is that Frank Wright talked about this whole vanilla stuff, right? He said, "Oh, we're being vanilla, and we're not going to give them the benefit of scheming because we want to see how they can handle it. When all that's taken, when all the schematic advantages are taken away, can you just play football?" And the answer is no, based off of what we saw on Saturday. The answer is no. So,
Well, no.
Dave, what do you think about that approach from Frank Wright?
Well, two things. I think I cannot try to give up everything because it is still the preseason. But at the same time, when you look at these grades, other than Icky, pass block ain't the problem. Other than Icky, which is dangerous because Icky's playing left tackle.
Yeah.
But other than Icky, pass blocking wasn't the issue. Run blocking is where I'm concerned. Because Bryce needs a run game. Like, let's not get it twisted here, guys. That's going to be more critical. I'm more concerned about that. But him saying that it's more like it's a vanilla scheme, we're not really giving out much. I understand that perspective, but guess what? The Jets didn't play their guys. They weren't giving up that much either. And we got demolished, yo. Let's keep it a buck.
We got smacked.
We got demolished. We got destroyed in the trenches. And that's why they had that meeting after that game. So even though it was vanilla, maybe it needs to be like butterscotch, like I had at Ben & Jerry's over the weekend. Maybe it need to be like, you know what I'm saying, maple walnut or something. Bro. Like it gotta have.
We don't gotta do all that.
It can't be vanilla.
No,
it's gotta be. You gotta put something in that.
No,
blend something in
it. Nah, we can keep it vanilla. Keep it vanilla, but you gotta add a topping. Like you gotta add some chocolate chips. You gotta add something to it. Because that ain't it, bro. We don't got it. It don't have to be Rocky Road and all that cookie dough just yet. We don't need all. You can
maybe you need to throw a couple chunks because they out here using flavors from the graveyard. Like I went to the graveyard, bro. Let me tell you something. Some of them flavors need to come back, but we'll discuss that another time. But you guys, like, this was rough, bro. Like I was listening to the game on the way, and then when I showed up at the half, and I was like, yeah, this is worse than listening. Like, watching it was worse. Then going back to watch the tape again, it was even worse than I thought it was. It was bad.
Yeah, it's bad. But let's hit the super chat real quick. ACAS says, I see what they mean when they say Irving is mentoring Icky. Those grades are concerning. That's funny, sir. That's
Let
funny.
me know when you're ready to talk about Cam Irving.
Do I have a stock down for him? No, I got a stock down for the entire offensive line. Go if you want to. Go ahead. You can proceed with your Cam Irving take if you want to.
Cam Irving and Michael Jordan should be released.
Yeah.
Now.
I'm with you. I'm with that.
Now.
You got to make it.
Like I think at this point, I'm never an advocate of somebody losing their job, but I just feel like roster spots are very precious, and I'm questioning the value added of having those guys on the rosters. I'd rather take my chances on the young guys. I would be honest. Like, if you want to keep names for bodies, but there's no way they can be there for the 53.
Cam, are you Dave, are you going to declare it? Is Cam Irving the new that jersey? Is that what we're doing, Dave?
I got a better question for you. Because I saw a poll that 4-Man Rush did, and I thought he was trying to start a war. And shout out to the 4-Man Rush. Who would you rather have? Cam Irving or Greg Little?
Well,
put your answers in the chat.
It's bad. That's bad.
I want to know.
I plead the fifth.
I'm leaning towards Greg Little personally, because at least I can use his youth as an excuse.
I was gonna say it would depend on where. Like, are we talking about specifically left tackle? Or are we talking about moving them
Yeah.
inside or around the line?
No.
Because I think that
Left
matters.
tackle. No, left tackle.
Yeah, yeah. Shit, I probably yeah. Yeah, that's
Chad
nasty.
agrees with
That's
me.
nasty work.
That's very
That's
rare,
nasty
but
work. That's nasty work. Helen Keller's dog says, I'm very disappointed in the offensive line, but we still got time. Those games don't count, so I'm not freaking out over here just yet. I mean, y'all are right. And so here's the thing, though. My concern is that we're out here being vanilla with no flavor. We're not adding anything to the scheme, and could potentially get our quarterback killed. So that's my concern. Like I'm concerned about Bryce Young's health if we're not going to protect him. And obviously, the message is sent. Like, it's been clear. Scott Fitterer is watching these dudes. You know, they've got Campen has said what he needed to say. Everybody understands the assignment. Everybody understands the assignment. They know that they got to be better. So it all goes to week 2 on Friday. Are we going to see some improvement? I certainly hope so. But I mean, I don't think Cade Mays was the best either. Score might be a little high because I know he missed on a couple of stunts. But Dave, what do you think about the right guard situation?
when's Corbett coming back?
He gonna miss the first 4 games, bro.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's gonna miss the first 4.
How's Nash Jensen doing? Is he gonna make it? How's he looking?
Nah, I think, bro. I was gonna come up here and say, bro, you might be right with Nash. The way things are looking, bro. Between him and Zavala, so both of them were taking
Zavala.
first team reps. So they're not gonna make a decision on the right guard until probably after week 2. But I think they are accelerating those guys quicker than what they would like. I don't think they want to play those guys right now. I don't think that they want to develop those guys and bring them along slowly, in my opinion. I think Cade Mays would have been the ideal person to play, but it doesn't appear to be working out. So I think they're going to make a move there.
Remember who drafted Cade Mays?
Yeah. Matt Rule did.
Oh. And I like Cade Mays. Let me be clear. I think I like him a lot. But once again,
it's from a starter standpoint, it ain't working out. He's good as a backup. I don't think he's a guy you want to start. Yeah, that's pretty clear right now. And they're looking at their options between Nash Jensen and Zavala. And I would question why Deontay Brown is not getting a look there. But hey, who am I?
Once again, who drafted Deontay Brown?
I'm getting an echo, Dave. Can you hear that? Or is that just me?
I think that might just be you. I don't hear no echo.
Bro, I'm tripping.
I don't see no echo.
I could hear faint in the background, but I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, go ahead.
So back to it. So when you talk about who Deontay Brown's another rule guy, you remember when we were on Cut To It with Steve Smith Sr.? And we were talking about the draft picks. And what was the big thing that he kept bringing up? The attitudes of folks. He's trying to change the culture of this team, the roster. And the dog in them. From the draft picks to the undrafted free agents. And that's what we're seeing. It's not an accident that we're not seeing that. And so I guess folks
yeah, I'm hearing the echo too. I don't know where it's coming from. Is it on somebody's phone or something? Let me hold on.
Hold on a second. That might have been me.
Yeah, I'm like,
is it going now?
I know it's coming. Yeah, it's going now.
That's weird.
All right.
I don't know why I was playing. That's weird. I don't know why.
It's going now.
I was doing that.
There we go. All right, so we're good now. Much better.
That's on me. I'll take ownership. Better.
All right, so this is the offensive line. Again, we got to see them get better. Yeah. Nobody says Rule took a long snapper over Trey Smith. Yeah, Trey Smith also has a ring right now. I was so pissed. At that. So pissed. You can go back and look at my live reaction during that draft. I was not a happy camper. Not a happy camper. But all right, let's move on. Let's move on from the offensive line guys. They got to do better. Point blank. Period. I hope Zavala can get it. I know Campen. So Campen, real quick. Campen was talking about that today. He was talking about guys and playing where they're comfortable, and he talked about how sometimes you got to let a guy land in a spot and stay there instead of moving him around. You know what I mean? So I wonder if that's going to apply to Zavala, right? So is Zavala going to, because he's a left guard, not a right guard. Is he going to be more comfortable, or is he going to be comfortable at all playing right? So I have some concerns about that. Nash Jensen, I would like to see him too. Deontay Brown, want to see him run with the ones. So we got options. Hopefully somebody sticks. But yeah. So with that said, man, we can move on from the offensive line. All right. So highest graded defender, Dave, Dante Jackson. So Dante Jackson is a guy that is back from his Achilles injury. Looked decent against the Jets out there. Played 13 snaps, seven coverage snaps, 6 run defense snaps. Had 1 target, which was that on the screen. Got a tackle, no penalties, solid against the run. Dave, what you think about Dante Jackson's performance? Albeit
it's great to see
small sample size.
Yeah, it's small sample size, but it was great to see it because I know for a fact that considering how the game went, we got to be positive about some of the good things that we saw. Dante Jackson played really well in this game. So I'm very happy to see how well he played considering he's coming back from Achilles injury. So I'm very happy about that. I know folks have been going at Dante thinking that he's not as good as other corners, but I'm glad he showed up today. His first game, but we need to be happy to see what we saw considering the injury that he's coming back from. So I'm happy with what we saw.
Yeah, and Derek Brown was a monster in that game. I don't want to overlook him. I'm just pulling up the highest graded PFF person, but Derek Brown was an absolute monster. Mm-hmm. He was destructive out there, and I can't wait to see what happens when you get him and Brian Burns on the same line because you can't block everybody. It's going to be nightmares for some folks, but DB was everywhere. He was 8 yards down the field. He was in the backfield wreaking havoc. So Derek Brown's an absolute monster. Can't wait. But y'all want to know who's second? Who was second on the second highest graded defender?
We don't.
Yeah, we do.
We do not care.
I care. I care.
Shout out to Mike Tomlin. We do not care.
I care. Y'all want to know who the second highest defender was? Yes, it was. And listen, the tickets is, bro. I'm running out of tickets. You had a nice PBU in the game. Nobody. He was going against the number 2s, bro. If you got torched by a number 2, y'all would have flamed him for it. So shout out to C.J. Henderson, bro. Shout out to my man CJ outside. He's going to start dominating soon, man. How? Because he had a nice PBU. You see it? You synced it? And it didn't throw his way. Come on, man. Stop playing with CJ, bro. Stop playing with CJ. Y'all know what time it is. So let me pull up some more grades for just for reference here.
Y'all want me to turn the echo back on, guys? I can turn the echo back on if you want.
Nah, man. Nah, chill out. They need the people need to hear this. The people need to hear this.
Look, man, if our viewership falls out because you're talking about C.J. Henderson, I'm blaming you for this.
Hey, listen, bro. I don't care. Get on the C.J. Henderson train. I don't care, bro. All right, so Frankie Louvu was third highest ranked player. He had a grade of 80, which was solid. Really good against in coverage and in run defense. That's what he does. Frankie Louvu was a baller. He was all over the place. He was thumping too. Actually, Yetur had a solid game too, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, some good performances from the defense. Any other thoughts on the highest graded defender, Dave?
No, man, I'm happy for Dante, and I'll give CJ Henderson the ball, man. I'm happy to see these actually doing.
Pause, yo, hey, yo.
Pause.
Jesus Christ, Dave. All right, move.
I'm trying to get a man props. Now you getting hostile. If you don't want props, I won't give it to him. I'm still not buying tickets. Though.
I'm sure he doesn't want your bone. I'm sure he'll be fine without that. Let's move on, Dave. Let's move on. So the highest graded player on offense, who we talked about earlier, Derek Wright. So Derek Wright, and I spelled it right here. I'm not sure how I
He
spelled it right on the other
did.
slide, but
He
spelled it
did
right,
spell it
but
right.
spelled it wrong on
Maybe
the
you
other
just
one.
don't like spelling it right with injuries, and I don't blame you there.
Maybe that's the case, man. Maybe I didn't want, but Derek Wright, man, he had himself a day. Made himself available for Matt Corral, playing with the threes and the twos and threes, whatever he was running with. Looked good, man. He looked like a little Wes Welker out there. So I like what I saw to him, man. He's been consistent all camp. Consistency is what we've seen from Derek Wright, and he's been balling. 115.3 passer rating when thrown to him. Like he was making himself available, bro. So shout out to Derek Wright, 78 receiving grade, 75.9 overall grade, 20 snaps, 14 pass snaps, 6 run snaps, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 35 yards, and 1 penalty. He had a false start. So shout out to Derek Wright, man. He's solid out there. Second highest graded offensive player was Spencer Brown, and then Adam Thielen came in at third with a 72.6. Dave, any thoughts on Derek Wright?
If he didn't get hurt, bro, he was gonna make the team. Simple as that. If he didn't get hurt, he was gonna make the team. It's very unfortunate of the timing of his injury, because I had him making the team. That's how good he's been in training camp. That's how good he's been playing. Period.
Bless you.
Thank you. He was on pace to make the team. So it's just unfortunate of his injury. But nah, he had a phenomenal day. He had a pretty good day.
Yeah,
You know?
it's gonna be interesting to see who steps up in his absence. I know we got guys like Wims. There's been some wide receivers that have stepped up. Wims got a lot of target. I think he led the guys in targets. So and if Shi Smith, I don't know what the status of his injury is, but if he is healthy, he should get a bump as well. But yeah, man, I hate to see that Derek Wright got hurt. He was very solid out there, and he had a nice play where if you go back to the first play here, where he landed on top of the defender and kept just good awareness here on this first play. Matt Corral running around, shoots it over, almost got an illegal throw, illegal touching, or illegal forward pass, I meant, but got away with it as his leg was still on the line. But yeah, man, should see a really good bump for somebody else. We'll see. Jennings, yeah, absolutely right. Jennings too. All right. Anything else for Derek?
Nah, man, I'm just, I was bummed when I saw that he got hurt. I know I'm trying to be positive about the game, but I'm just afraid that his injury is going to cost him the roster spot.
Yeah. And based off of what Wright has said, it's going to be a minute, but they were waiting for all the results and all that stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not too bad, but it's a knee injury. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, one time for the Patreon members, man. Patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. I still have a couple tickets to give away. I'm not prepared to do it today. I'm sorry. We'll probably do it next week, simply because my daughters have dance practice again. Dance started right back up again. I felt like there was no break. Shout out to all the
It's
MVPs
WWE,
rocking
bro.
with us. Basically, no days off. That's what it feels like. But shout out to all the MVPs, man. We appreciate y'all consistent contributions to the channel, man. We love y'all and appreciate y'all. Shout out to the franchise folks. Appreciate y'all as well. And if you want to get access or be available or have access to the giveaway for the tickets, make sure you upgrade to that MVP level, man, because I still have like 3 more I need to give away. All right. So and shout out to the free agent. Same for you. If you want to be eligible for the game tickets, upgrade to the MVP level and see what you test your luck. All right. Dave, real quick, Underdog Fantasy.
So the big thing I want to talk to you guys about is the best balls you can get paid every week. And there's more. And I think there's a I know $15 entry fee, which is very reasonable. Go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP when you sign up. They're still doing the $100 match. So it's a really good deal. And there's always the pick'ems, and now they're doing season-long pick'ems. So if you think Justin Fields is going to throw for a certain amount of yards, you could do a higher, lower for that. If you think Bryce Young is going to do that, you could do it for that. And they're adding them weekly. So just check them out. Underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP.
All right, all right. So rookie watch. So this is just keeping an eye on the rookie stats. Pulled some information. I think it's just curious or interesting to watch this over the season as the season goes along. We'll take a look at it. But Bryce Young, I don't know why I have run block there, but I believe did I even upgrade his stats? I might not have got around to it. Uh, Let me see. My bad, y'all. Yeah, upgraded. It is a 50.7. I think his yeah, and I didn't upgrade the pad. That the other joints is not relevant, so my apologies. But his overall grade was a 50.7. But he had 11 snaps, 7 dropbacks. He was 4 of 6, 66% completion percentage for 21 yards. And obviously he was sacked once. But I wanted to key in on this. I wanted to key in on this, bro. He was under pressure for 42% of his throws, bro. That's way yo, bro. He's gonna get himself killed out here, bro. And it's not him. Not excuse me. He's gonna get killed. The offensive line is gonna get him killed, right? That's not acceptable. 42%, almost 50% of his throws, he's under pressure. Not good enough for the offensive line. They got to get that right. They've got to fix that. Another quick stat is that if you take a look at the deep throws, we didn't get an opportunity to throw the football deep. There was one throw deep to DJ Chark, which was out of bounds, a little off target. So 0 for 1. Everything was basically short, 10 yards and under, right? That's basically what it was. Okay. And that's because if he's not protected, we gotta get rid of the ball quick. That's what you're gonna see. Get it to the playmakers and let them go to work. And yeah, so that's what this was interesting to see, like visually. And shout out to PFF. All this stuff comes from PFF. All right. So Dave, any thoughts on this stuff?
My man was running for his life the entire day. The entire day. And I know that you could tell that Frank Wright wasn't happy. Wasn't happy with what he saw. So, Bryce did the best of what he could, considering the circumstances that he had. He ain't had no time. So all I can hope for against the Giants this week is that he gets more time. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah, and one interesting thing that I saw, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. But under pressure, even when he was under pressure, bro, he was 2 for 1, so he was 50% even under pressure. And I believe that yeah. the first one, I think the completion was the completion to Adam Thielen. That's the completed one, I believe. I don't know how they chart it, but I'm quite sure that's what it was. Was the first throw when he got walloped, in the words of Frank Wright. But yeah, when he's not blitzed or when he's kept clean, he was 4 for 4. No, he's 3 or 4. Excuse me. I think that other one, the incomplete pass, was the throw to DJ Chark, I want to say, which was the deep pass. So he's consistent even when pressured. He's cool with the other side of the pillow. He's cool, calm, collected. I just hope they don't get him killed out there, bro.
No completions on the left side, which was fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at when you see these stats.
He was 100% between the numbers and 100% to the right. Now, granted, his longest pass was on the left.
He
didn't even attempt none of that on the right hand side, but the short pass he had was on the left too, so didn't get that completion. So, just fascinating when you look at it like this.
Yep, it is. It is. All right, we'll move on from Bryce and talk about Jonathan Mingo. So these grades are updated. So Mingo, again, we talk about that run blocking. That's another thing that gets him out there. Yes, he is a really good run blocker. That's on the scouting report. He's a physical blocker, and that's what's going to get him out there more snaps than not. That should be his receiving grade was a 56.4, and overall 56.2. And so he played 8 snaps. He had 5 pass snaps, 3 run snaps, no targets, no receptions. One thing I did want to take a look at, though, was his alignment and see how he lined up every play in the plays that he did play. So he did play a special teams play, but you can see that he was out wide for the most of his snaps, right? One thing that was mentioned with Mingo is, he can play in the slot. He can play inside. Well, most of his snaps, the vast majority of snaps was taken from outside. So he's playing outside wide receiver. So it's interesting to see how he lines up. It's just interesting. So that said, Dave, any thoughts on this?
It's interesting. makes you think where they're going to put Thielen. I'm guessing Thielen probably played more slot, but I'll be guessing at that point.
I could tell you that. Well, continue your thought, and I can pull that up.
But other than that, I mean, overall, he didn't get that many opportunities because Bryce didn't exactly get too many chances to throw to somebody.
Right.
So from that standpoint, I mean, this is all you could ask for. And like Rashad said, he's known to be to run block, and he enjoys doing it. So, you know, that's a beautiful thing, and that's going to get him more playing time because we are going to be a run first offense, contrary to what you guys are hoping for.
Yeah. So just a quick thought. Adam Thielen had played 6 snaps in the slot, 2 out wide. So
Yep.
more of a slot guy. He played
Yep.
8 snaps. So
We know
that's
Chark's going to be on the outside, so
yeah.
that's why I
Chark
didn't
is
even
an
bother.
outside guy. Yeah, Chark is an outside guy, but I can
Why even
confirm.
bother?
I can confirm if y'all want to. DJ Chark. Yep, 4 snaps out wide and 1 in the slot. So guys are gonna move around, but it is what it is there. All right. So that is Jonathan Mingo. DJ Johnson. I was impressed. When I saw this, I'm like, bro, this was solid because he played a decent amount of snaps. DJ Johnson, 71 run defense grade, 57.6 pass rush grade. This is what we knew. We know that he is good against the run. He has to work on his pass rush. What did he say? Stop the run first. Then we rush the passer. 69.4 overall grade is very respectable. Very respectable for your first time out. By the numbers, 29 snaps, 13 pass snaps, 15 run snaps. He played 1 in coverage, 2 tackles. Solid day. Man, clap it up for my man D. That was man, as much hell as I gave him, and a lot of people have been disappointed for him. This was a hell of a game for DJ Johnson. I gotta be honest. I gotta eat some crow on that. He had a good game. Really good game from DJ Johnson, bro.
He did. He had a phenomenal day. I was happy to see this. I was really happy to see this. He had a phenomenal day. I know a lot of folks did not like that pick when it happened, but once again, it goes back to having faith in what the coaching staff wants. And he had a phenomenal day. Nobody liked that pick, yo. Everybody was questioning it. And I think people questioned it mainly because we had to trade up to get it. I think that was the question. But it looks so far so good.
So just looking at the snap counts, he did play some special team snaps, which is why you see a total of 38 versus 28. One thing, he played on the left outside as a left outside linebacker in 22 snaps, right outside linebacker as for 6 snaps. Excuse me. So those are kind of where he lined up across the scheme. Yeah, man, I'm happy for the man, bro. I'm happy for that man, bro, for sure, for sure, for sure. This was a good game by DJ Johnson, man. But any more thoughts on him, Dave?
Nah, man. Shout out to DJ. I'm happy for him. Hope he keeps it up.
All right. Chandler Zavala did not play in this game, so there are no stats for him. Hopefully, we see him in week 2 because we got to decide what the hell we're doing at right guard. So hopefully he's getting healthy. We don't want to rush him back. We know I think, have they officially taken him off the pup yet? I don't even know if they did that. I think they had to let him practice, but I don't know. But hopefully he will show up in week 2 and we get to see our 4th round pick go to work. But shout out to Chandler Zavala, man. All right. Jamie Robinson, man. Ugh.
Don't do no,
my guy.
That's Florida State
I
now.
know.
Don't.
I know.
Don't.
I know.
No.
My guy.
No.
I know. My guy's had a rough go, and I heard he got ran over in practice today too. So it's not a good couple of days for my man Jamie.
And
Robinson.
I guess he's responding to tweets and messages.
Yeah. Yeah. He's saying that he's responding to stuff. He sees what people are saying outside. But the facts are the facts. My man got put in a spin cycle, bro. and gave up a touchdown as a last line defense as a safety. And we seen him play better than that. I see his Florida State film is better than that. But for him to get spun around and then look and then look around like you just did, like looking for help, bro. That was nasty, bro. That was nasty work, nasty work. So, um, it is what it is here. But run defense 49.1, coverage grade 65.5, overall 59.6. Not terrible, not great either. Played 33 snaps, 16 in coverage, 16 runs, and he also did rush the passer on one play. 3 tackles, 1 missed tackle, and we know which one that missed tackle was, where he got put in the spin cycle. Okay, now here's his. Go ahead, Dave. You want to laugh? Dave, you wanted to laugh. Go ahead, bro. You can laugh, man. You can laugh, bro.
I can't. You
I
calling
listen.
him put him in a
I
spin
listen.
cycle.
That's my guy, though. I listen. I'm on the Jamie Robinson train, so I can't. You know what I mean, so I can't bash my man,
quit.
but
You better
it's
quit.
ugly.
What you be telling me? You better quit letting your allegiance get in the way of things.
I know,
That's what you be telling me.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. And you're a bigger culprit of it than I am. If you keep it a buck.
It might be a little true. Might be some truth to that. Might be some truth.
I'm telling you, man. You better quit pledging allegiance to these flags, man. You better relax.
Yeah, man. He had a rough go, bro. He had a rough go, but he gonna get better. He gonna get better. As far as where he lined up, which is interesting, 27 snaps to free safety. I thought he'd be more of a box safety guy, but they had him more free according to PFF. So that's just interesting to keep an eye on that. But yeah, any final thoughts on Jamie, Dave?
Only advice I can give him, man. He gotta stay away from the socials.
Yeah, he got to get off social media, bro. I don't like that. I don't like respond. I know it's tough. People. Everybody has an opinion. Us folks that never put on the pads at a professional level. We all got something to say. That's our job. You know what I mean? We out here that we are here to commentate on what we see. But listen, you can't. These players got to stay off social media, bro. Y'all got to stop looking at this stuff because at the end of the day, our opinion doesn't matter. You got to go out there and prove it. Typing and saying, "Oh, they'll see," like that don't do nothing, bro. You got to show us. You got to show us, bro. So show us better than you can tell us. That's all I say. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. All right, let's move on. Oops, my fault. All right, so stock up, stock down, Dave. I got to give Amari Barno his props. Amari Barno has to get his props, bro. Amari Barno was balling. He strung together a couple of solid plays using that speed. I mean, he split on the sack that he got. He split 2 defenders. Very impressive play. Bro, for him to be at the back end of the depth chart, he needed that day, bro. He needed to have that game, and I was impressed. I was impressed by what I saw in Amari Barno. He seems to make plays when he's on the field. It's that we don't see it consistently enough from him. So I like what I saw from him, man. He balled out, bro.
We just did a whole segment on Terrace Marshall about the fact that he's a rule guy and he didn't show enough to the coaching staff. This is what you have to do to show enough to the coaching staff to get up the depth chart. This is the difference. You have to show that you belong with that roster because these coaches are going to coach you up, but they didn't bring you in. They inherited you. You were here. You were already here. So you got to earn your keep. And he did that. He did that on Saturday.
Yeah, you made a great point. Like we just berated Terrace Marshall and about what you got to do. And even though because this is a very similar situation, they drafted a guy ahead of you. Like they drafted DJ Johnson to play in front of you, bro. And they put you in the back end of the depth chart. And there's talent in front of you. But you still got to show out. You got to show and prove. And Amari Barno did that. Not only did he have a sack, my fam had 2 hurries too, right? So he had a really good game. He had a really good game, man. Played 22 snaps. I mean, he was outside, bro. He was outside, bro. So I got to give him his props. And I thought he was in danger. But if he backs that up and continues to play like that, he's definitely going to push someone else off the roster. And I'm not saying it's going to be another edge rusher, but I mean they're going to make room for him, on that roster somewhere. But yeah, situational pass rusher for sure, because that speed is on full display. The way he split those two defenders, that was beautiful, bro. On that sack he got, beautiful play, and he was in the backfield consistently. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Any more thoughts on Amari Barno?
Nope. Props to him, man. And everybody talking bye bye YGM. Sit tight. Oh God.
Yeah, yeah. Sit tight. Yeah, offensive line, bro. Offensive line. We talked about it, bro. They were garbage. Piss poor effort, and it wasn't even just the first team. It was the second team, the third team, with the exception of a couple of folks, which I'm gonna point out one of them, bro. It was bad. Michael Jordan, awful. All right.
God.
Cam Irving, awful. They were all bad, bro. It was a bad, bad day. And I don't know that the coaches put them in the best position to succeed. Maybe it is a coaching issue. Maybe they need to scheme for these guys to be successful. I mean, that's a whole nother story if that's the case, because the talent just ain't there if that's the case. But it was not pretty. Not pretty from an offensive line standpoint, man. Not pretty at all, bro. Couple of guys had some decent days. Ricky Lee had a solid day from pass blocking. He had a 67.6 grade, 63 overall. Solid day from him. Tecklenburg had a solid day. We're going to talk about another guy in a second. But guys like, man, Cam Irving, Larnell Coleman, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the worst offensive lineman out there. Just bad. Bad. And just bad, bro. Bad.
I'll repeat. You can get Cam and Mike off this roster, bro.
Yeah, I think
I know we're not gonna cut them now, but if you're talking about the 10 that you're gonna keep, there's no reason to keep them two. You might as well keep the young boys. You might as well keep Jensen. If you got a debate between the guard and the tackle, you might as well keep Jensen and Lee, or somebody else. Like, why? You got enough offensive linemen that can mentor those guys. You don't need Cam Irving here. And Michael Jordan, I don't want Michael Jordan mentoring anybody. He already took down one young quarterback for another franchise. I don't want him to take down ours.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. It's bad. All bad offensive line play. And I'm not gonna put it on Camp. And we know Camp is pedigree. We know what Camp is about, but them dudes got to be better. And I hope they really take that personal and get better and protect Bryce. We can't afford to allow Bryce to get off on the wrong foot because we know how good he is when protected. This ain't a talent issue. We've seen some quarterbacks play bummy even with good protection. That's not the case here with Bryce. We know if Bryce is protected, he's going to be a very good quarterback. We know that, but you got to protect him, bro. And I'm unsettled with what I saw from the offensive line. Not cool at all. Not cool at all. All right. Let's move on. Sam Franklin. So Sam Franklin with the pick. He should get a yellow stock up because he definitely got picked off by the quarterback. Yeah, you can't get tackled by the quarterback. But Sam Franklin, they talked about. I think Coach Wright talked about Sam and how he challenged him to be not just a good special teamer, but a good in find a role and carve out a role on defense as well. And so I think that's what Sam Franklin was doing. Shout out to my man Chris from Charlotte Vibe who interviewed him for like a quick 45-second interview. Go check it out on his channel. But he asked him, he was like, "Yo, walk me through the play," and he was like, "Yeah, man, they had been running the same stuff." And so I knew what they were gonna do. I just read it and I reacted and got the pick. Now he said I shouldn't have got, the turf monster got him, but it is what it is. But I like Sam. Sam is one of the rule guys that is actually starting to pan out and play well. And special teams, carving out special teams role is important. Dave talked about that a million times. We talk about that all the time. But shout out to Sam Franklin. Dave, any more thoughts on Sam Franklin?
Agata can get a jersey on game day because of his special teams play and could probably play something on the secondary too. So this was good. This is big for him. That was big for him. Really big for him.
Yeah. Shout out to A Cash. He says Michael Jordan is a worse guard than John Sachs, Happy Miller. Yes, I said it. Yeah, I mean it depends what you.
Why are we debating who's the worst guard ever?
Yeah, that is pretty bad. But I would say Michael Jordan is decent against the run. Pass blocking is just not. It's just not it. It's not it, bro. It's not it.
Oh,
But
not
yeah,
at all, man.
shout out to Sam Franklin though, man. Kudos to him. Kudos to him. All right,
Brutal.
Dave. Here's another one that, bro. This is another one that I I like Brandon Smith, bro. But this goes back to the same Terrace Marshall conversation, bro. You gotta be better. You not separating yourself. And I throw him a little bit of bail. The little bit of bail that I'll throw Brandon Smith is that I they're trying to put him on the inside as an interior linebacker. I think he may be better off as a pass rushing kind of tweener type guy because he's solid in coverage too. I just I don't. They might be square peg round holding Brandon Smith, bro.
But why would you? Why would a situation like that happen?
Well, he wasn't drafted by this coaching staff. That might be part of it.
I'm just here to look, man. We should change the name of this episode to "This guy wasn't drafted, that guy wasn't drafted." That should be the name of the episode. Because, like, if you're not performing at a high level and you weren't drafted by this regime, you're in trouble. All them undrafted free agents they picked up, you are in trouble. You're in trouble. Simple as that.
Yeah,
So,
I don't like where they got him playing. That's just my personal opinion. And I'm no expert, but when I look at Brandon Smith, I see him more as an outside linebacker type more than I do an interior linebacker. And right now they've got him lined up as essentially a middle linebacker in the 3-4. And I don't he I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, bro. And it's just not. And y'all know me.
that might be his only path to get a roster spot, bro. That's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been talking about how much we needed an edge rusher, but the reality is we just got a bunch of rotational guys, and maybe we got so many rotational guys that they said, "Well, we got to have somebody in the middle." Brandon, you're it, buddy.
Yeah, and I just think that he's got to when you're playing, especially as an interior linebacker, you got to be a sure tackler. He had a couple of missed tackles. When you go back and turn on the film, uh, he was targeted twice. He did allow one catch for 21 yards, I believe. So he's got to be better in coverage, which I do think he's athletic enough to be a solid coverage linebacker. But I don't know, man. I just I don't I don't know, man. I hope they find a spot for him, but right now he's got an uphill battle, especially for that middle line, bro. Camus Grugier Hill, the way he came through, and bro, he could get lost in the sauce, man. I just even what's the other kid? What's that kid? The other middle linebacker that they got that was balling. What's my man name? He had to change his number.
Bumper pool?
Not Bumper. What's my man name, bro? I be blanking on their names sometimes. Not Bumper. Here we go. Hold on. Wooten. Chandler Wooten. Chandler Wooten is who I'm talking about. I think Chandler Wooten, I mean, he had some more ups than I saw from Brandon Smith. You know what I mean? Chandler Wooten played really good. You know what I mean? And Deion Jones is a vet, so I'm not concerned about him. And they went out and signed him, so that's another thing. They're going out to sign these veterans, bro. You gotta. It's the same. All goes back to Terrace Marshall conversation again. You got to man up, and I just don't. Yeah, there we go. Wooten, yeah. So man, it's just tough, bro. It's tough. It's tough outside, man. You got to man up these next couple of games, next couple of weeks, bro. Or I'm afraid. All right, so here is my other stock up, Dave. Deontay Brown, bro. Blastoise. We've been talking about Deontay for a while here. And he had a hell of a game, bro. He had a really, really good game. at guard, which is still interesting why his name isn't being brought up. I mean, it goes back to the same conversation: who drafted who brought who in. But bro, he played well, and nobody's talking about him. Like the coaching staff doesn't really say much about Brandon Smith. Excuse me, Deontay Brown. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like he should be at least given some consideration here to start. Am I going crazy, bro?
I don't think you're going crazy. Do you think he did enough to jump folks? That's the question. That's the key.
Bro, he played okay, so he played 24 snaps, Dave. He had the highest pass blocking grade out there. Highest pass blocking grade. No pressures. 0 in 24. That's a lot of snaps, Dave. And 15 of them were pass reps. So that's 15 opportunities to give up pressure. He gave up 0. In the run game, solid. He's solid, bro. I don't understand why he's not.
Well, then it might come down to other things outside of the game. It might come down to what happens outside.
You talking about weight? Like managing weight and all that stuff, or like
weight,
attitude,
how you handle yourself at practice, how you handle yourself, all the other stuff.
Gotcha.
All the intangible stuff that we don't necessarily see. I will say though, the one thing that I did see, I was at that. Were you at the practice when they had to run them laps?
Nah.
Yeah, you were there.
I don't remember running laps.
Oh, you weren't there. So when they had to fight,
remember.
when they did the fight and they had to run the laps, when they fought each other, they had a scuffle. After that practice, they had to run laps.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. It was at Gibbs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, go ahead. Continue. I know where you're going. Go ahead. I know where you're going.
So when they had to run the laps, and then, you notice certain people were really trying to put forth effort in running them laps. And there were others that necessarily did not put forth said effort of running said laps. So there's other things that you notice.
That's a good point.
There's little things like that. And this is somebody
it's a great point.
Man, it's people. It's the little things. People want to always say, "Well, I'm the best at this. I'm the best at that." But sometimes it's the little things that matter. And
it was a couple of them dudes walking. It was a couple of them dudes walking.
It was a couple.
Wasn't Michael Jordan with them walking?
Yeah. But there was some others. But there was somebody that was really walking. Really walking. And it was him. He didn't even he didn't even begin a jog. You know what I'm saying? And everybody could see it.
It's a great point, Dave. That's a great point. Great point. I forgot all about that.
So it's about the little things. It's about, and once again, that's just something that I noticed.
Right.
Being at practice for one day.
So if you notice it, and then damn sure the rest of the other coaches noticed it too.
Yeah. And it wasn't like they were just doing one of them joints. They did a couple of them joints. And you talking about the quarterback, everybody had to run them joints. Yeah. Everybody. So
it's a great point.
Little things.
Great point. All right, that's Deontay Brown. All right, Dave. So we got week 2 coming up. I am gonna go live. Dave, I don't know. It's Friday. Are you gonna be able to go live to watch the game? I plan on it.
What time is the game? At 8 o'clock?
I think it's 7.
I think I could. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. I think I don't. For some reason, I think my daughter wants me to take her somewhere, but I'll figure it out.
So we got the Giants. We're going up to MetLife to take on the Giants in week 2. Another test for our offensive line because they do have a pretty solid defensive line, defensive front up there. So it's going to be a another tough matchup. Dave, anything you looking forward to in this joint?
Offensive line playing better.
Outside of that.
I mean, that's the I mean, like, dude, like there ain't nothing else I'm paying attention to is other than like offensive line play. I'm curious to see if Chuba's about to lose his job as the second running back because I think Blackshear's about to take it. I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
it buck with y'all.
a lot of people are high on Black Sheep right now.
Yeah, I think this might be a situation where we might see Blackshear overtake him for the 2 spot. That's for y'all fantasy folks too. So that's one thing I'm checking. The other thing I'm checking is how Brandon. Yeah, I look, man. If we don't score any points, y'all can go at Wright's neck. I'm more concerned about the trench play because I know if Bryce doesn't score any points, I don't have faith in the other quarterbacks being able to do it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm gonna be straightforward with you. You know what I'm saying? I went on a Twitter back and forth with somebody when I was trying to explain to them that they're trying to give Corral enough reps so he could get enough trade value for him. So we'll see. So if Bryce don't get them points, then I don't think we're gonna probably potentially score. So don't be shocked if we get another offer. Like I mean, don't be stunned, especially since we might be going vanilla. You know what I'm saying? And we not be with no sprinkles or no chocolate chips. We might just go vanilla again. So don't be shocked. I want to see Bryce Young complete a pass on the left side of the ball, but I also want to see if he gets more time to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. So professionally certified hater says I've been a BY9 fan since high school. That O-line performance was trash. 0 starters played for the Jets. I want to see Bryce succeed, man. Tough showing. Yeah, we do too, bro. We do too. The offensive line got to play better. I like to see the run game get going too, because I mean that all goes back to the offensive line for sure. But yeah, the run game has to support Bryce. Bryce isn't gonna just go out there and sling the football 50 times. I don't think they want him to do that. He can, but I don't think they want him to do that. But yeah, in the defense, I want to see some of the defensive guys step up. I want to see. I thought YGM had a respectable game. I know he wasn't on stock up, but I think he probably could have been a stock up candidate. YGM played okay on Saturday. I think he played well enough. So yeah, shout out to YGM. I think he's doing enough. I don't think he's like out there, he's not world beating or anything, but he was solid out there. But yeah, man, it's gonna be good. Listen, offensive line play got to be better, bro. Here we go.
That's what I want to see. Like that's the main thing I'm going to pay attention to when I watch the game. I'm not going to be paying attention to nothing else but that. I'm going to check to see who the hell getting beat. I want to see if the interior line plays better. I want to see if Icky plays better. If it was just a bad day in the office for Icky, which I'm hoping that's what it was. And that's that. And I want to see Bryce get enough time to actually execute a little bit more. Because I want to see a little bit more out of Bryce. But we can't see more out of Bryce without an offensive line. I don't care who your quarterback is. It could be Mahomes. It could be Josh Allen. It could be Lamar. It could be Jalen. If your offensive line ain't helping you guys, it does not matter. Your quarterback needs time.
Yeah. Z Spoon 30 says, "Did I miss Jamie Robinson missing his block and not chasing him down? Even Steve Smith called him out for that. Missing his block. I don't know what you mean. In what play? Are you talking about where he whiffed on the tackle? We got put in a spin cycle. I don't know what you're talking about. We're missing his block. You got to specify what you're talking about. But yeah, we got to do better. We got to be better. I think we're better than that, and I hope this whole vanilla discussion goes away. Because guess what? If we don't improve, folks are really going to be down. You can't start like this. Again, I said this on the post game show. Like, you have to understand the context of which the fans are looking at this. All the hype came from this new coaching staff. Everything is new quarterback, new coaching staff. There was so much hype built, and for us to put out that effort, 0 points is not acceptable. I don't care about wins or losses in the preseason. I could care less about that. But you have to show us something, bro. We have to get excited about something, and we're reaching for straws trying to get excited about it. Like, there was nothing for us to really take away. outside of, man, the defense was decent. And obviously with no Brian Burns, we already know what the defense is gonna look like. But
Mm-hmm.
the offense, bro, was not good at all, and it leaves a lot of Panthers fans scratching their heads like, yo, is this gonna bleed into the season? Because I get, like, especially with Chenault, like, I get he is the plays for him. You're not gonna pull those out. Like, you're not gonna the stuff that we saw at training camp and him getting snaps in the backfield. You probably not gonna see that kind of stuff until the season starts. I get that, but you got to give us something, bro. You got to give us something, or it's gonna, like, people are gonna check out quick. Like, we all got PTSD, and all it takes is another piss poor effort, and we checking out, bro. We checking out. So
I
you
ain't gonna
gotta
check out till the
understand
season.
that,
I'm not gonna check out until the season starts, and I probably won't even check out then because I got this. We got this show. I cover fantasy. As long as you out here not trying to start draft content week 5, bro, I think we're fine.
bro. I'm saying, like, if that's if we're gonna do what we did, listen, give me the first 4 weeks, really the first two going up against division opponents. It's gonna say a lot, bro. It's gonna say a lot. It's gonna be very, and I know Frank Wright teams normally start slow, and they kind of, trickle. They get better throughout this. I know, I get all that, but bro, I'm a fan first. F all this analysis BS. I'm a fan, bro. I want to see some W's. I'm sick of seeing L's, bro. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. But all right, I'll see if we can hit up Diggy to see if we can get a preview for the game, to see what they're looking for, see if they're looking for anything particular. I'd like to see what the Giants are talking about. Again, Giants are a decent team. I like what they got up there, and it's gonna be a tough outing, bro. There's no cakewalks. And Dave, this could be, depending on how Frank Wright handles the preseason, this could be the last time we see the starters. I know last year, I don't think we played any starters like that. So I don't know how they're gonna
I
do
ain't
that.
counting last year, bro.
I
Because
know, I get
last year
that.
they used the joint practices more than they used the preseason stuff. So
Yeah. And then a lot of teams, but a lot of teams sit for week 3. So we'll see. I don't know what they're gonna do. We don't know. It's a new coaching staff, so we don't know what they're gonna do. We don't have any anything to go from. So yeah. Shout out to Jared. Jared says MJ and Irving out there looking like the new Trent Scott and Dennis Daly. Wow. Sheesh. Went back
God.
for that one.
Oh God.
Yeah. Wow. All right, Dave. So any other thoughts? Anything else we need to discuss? Any topics? You want to talk about the running backs getting signed at all? I know you talked about that in the fantasy joint.
Nah. Are you talking about Zeke and Cook?
Yeah, Zeke and Cook.
I mean, there was talks about Cook going to the Jets for a while now. The Zeke to the Patriots thing is fascinating to me. Cause I didn't expect that. And like I said last night during the fantasy show, Cook going to the Jets is going to impact Breece Hall from a fantasy perspective. I think Zeke is probably just going to be more of a vulture to Stevenson. I don't think he's going to affect Stevenson as much as Cook is going to affect Hall. That's my opinion on it. Because Cook is a 3-down back. I think Zeke as a 3-down back is over. But Zeke could be a hell of a goal line back. So that's just my opinion on it.
So do you think dress rehearsal games are done in the NFL? It's a good question.
The 3 preseason game, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that those days are over, bro.
I think more teams are doing joint practices now. They're more common. I think they are leveraging that more than they used to. So.
Yeah, so y'all got to remember the 53 cut down, the roster cut down is one swoop now. They don't do the kind of the staggered
90,
cut like they used to.
It's 90 to 53.
Yeah, 90 to 53, and that happens on August 29th. So be prepared for that. That's always a crazy day to watch Twitter and watch all the rumors and stuff. So keep an eye on that. That's gonna be a wild day.
That's a Tuesday too, ain't it? We're gonna be live.
It usually is a Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, that's Tuesday.
Yep, it is a Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
2 weeks from now.
Well, that's gonna be a freaking bonanza.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
and
wild.
There was one kid during the preseason that I think the Packers wanted to stash that they're not gonna be able to stash no more. And that's the running back Emmanuel Wilson. Dude had 6 carries for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. Broke one for 80 yards. He ain't gonna be stashable no more. If they cut him, he's gonna get picked up. Home run hitter.
Yeah.
Give us y'all surprise cut candidates. You don't want my list.
Surprise. Man, I think the homie Brandon Smith is on the cusp, bro. I think
but if is that a surprise though?
I think to a lot of people, yeah. What would you consider a surprise? Somebody like
YGM.
Yeah,
he's more of a surprise to Smith.
I agree. I don't think
when you consider how high around you took a guy, even if it wasn't him, Sean Smith wouldn't be much of a surprise.
I don't think there's gonna be anything too crazy, to be honest with you. I don't think there's gonna be like oh shoot, I can't believe we cut him.
Well, I mean, so define surprise, right? Surprise to us and surprise to the general public are two different things.
Yeah, like okay, so if we cut like Terrace Marshall, it would be a surprise.
That would be a surprise to me.
Yeah, that would be like, oh, we really cut. Like, yeah. I would be surprised.
But like to the general public, Cam Irving getting cut to the general public would be a surprise. But for us, that would not be a surprise at all. I think it should happen. So, yeah. But TMJ, that would be an absolute surprise. I think he's 5 for a reason, right? 5 means he makes the team. I just don't think he's going to start. Ian Thomas wouldn't be a surprise.
And with the way Ian Thomas is not going anywhere. With the injuries that we're dealing with at the wide receiver position, Terrace Marshall is not going anywhere, bro. He's not. I don't think there's gonna be anything crazy. Like we're not. I think we'll get like I can see that. We're gonna get that kind of cut, but we're not gonna get like a real
Hey,
now I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Can you pull up the offensive lineman real quick?
I do. I didn't want to do this, but hold on.
No, I'm just curious about some things. I'm just, I'm sorry. You listen.
Because I got check marks and stuff that I need to edit based on some stuff. So I don't want to be judged. But no, I'll put it up. Oops, my fault.
Yeah. I would swap Irvin with Lee. There. That's me.
Yeah. Again, this is like 3 weeks old. So
yeah, I remember because we did this a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, this is old, so don't go too crazy here.
Yeah.
And here's the interior guys. I would take Michael Jordan off of this and add either Jensen or they like McCray too, so one of those two guys. Tecklenburg's probably gonna be a practice squad guy. Deontay Brown probably gonna be a practice squad guy. So.
And maybe that's why they're not really trying to give him a chance because they might want to try to stash Brown again.
I think the check mark for they say explain the check mark for Cam. This is old, bro. It's old. I think we can do an official one next week because that'll be the one before the last show before cut downs. So we'll go over this prediction and give our official one next week.
Yeah.
So.
Sure, we did. We've already did that, right? Didn't we sign BJ Wilson and cut him?
We've done that. So that wouldn't be a reason. That wouldn't be a reason for us not to cut him. Yeah, that wouldn't be a reason for us not to cut him. So he is a veteran though, a little bit different. BJ is a rookie, so
good point.
But all right, Dave. Any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, this was a good show, good episode. Y'all check out Dave's Fantasy Hour. I'm gonna do this live thing every Monday, and once the season starts, I'll be doing 2 days in a row, Sunday and Monday. But we'll be going live every Monday. Week 2 of the preseason, there'll probably be more data to look at. Week 1 was kind of Week 2 will probably be more data to look at. And I'll probably talk a little bit more fantasy strategies too. And hopefully I'll be further in my Dynasty League. And I will let you guys know if there's any more available slots. The Patreon is going to get first dibs of the slots. And I'm going to tell you something right now. A lot of folks are getting dibs on these slots. We're going to do a PNP redraft league and we're going to do a PNP Dynasty League. And I'm going to probably set that up tonight and start adding the folks and start collecting payments. $50 entry fee for each league. Fun times.
All right. All right. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, all that good stuff, man. Again, on the road to like 25K. So we're slowly but surely creeping up there. Keep subbing up. That being said, man, we're going to get up out of here. We out. Peace.